5 minutes. How do you guys feel about doing some photography?
Yes, please.
Okay. Oh man, we should probably stay a little bit late if we can. You know, if we can.
We can probably push it a few minutes.
Okay, so I have with me a digital camera here. With Gabe's permission, I'm going to snap a picture of him. So. Here, keep going. Let's get some. He's very excited.
I love it.
And are you guys okay if I take all the picture of all you guys?
Oh, sure.
So I read cheese. Okay. So now I have a few pictures on here.
Alright.
I have my cable here, my USB cable.
It's not
I'm
Bluetooth.
going to plug it
Got
in.
it? Okay.
Plugs right into his camera.
And this program is what?
You're going to see iPhoto in just a
Oh,
moment.
iPhoto.
And it's going to pop right up automatically. He's not even going to do anything on the computer.
So notice, as soon as I plug it in, iPhoto popped up. If you have a Mac, you have iPhoto. iPhoto comes with every Mac. If you have a PC, I'd recommend a program from Google called Picasa. It's also, you know what I did there.
Very good program.
It's called Picasa. So Picasa.
Like Picasso, but with an A at the end.
And it's a very good alternative to iPhoto. But if you have a Mac, like I said, you already have this program, which is cool. So I plugged it in, the program popped up, and you'll see that it's similar to iTunes if everyone's ever used iTunes. On the left-hand side, we have the source menu. So this is the source of all the photos, whether it be the camera or your personal library or individual film rolls that you've imported, right? So I've selected Canon PowerShot. It says it's ready to import 3 items because I took 3 pictures. All I have to do is click this button down here that says import. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It's going to bring them in.
No.
And so now, if you look on the top left, I've selected the library. This is now the library of pictures that I have. It's not very impressive yet, but you can understand that, in a few years I can have 5,000, 10,000 pictures, right? And there's actually some cool things you can do. You can shrink them all, you can blow them all up, so if you have thousands of pictures, you can get a simultaneous view, and click on the one you want to see. Another cool thing is that it's sorted chronologically. So a few years down the line, once you have your library built up, you can scroll, up to September 2006 and remember the good old days, or even, past there. If you're scanning pictures in, if you have analog pictures you want to scan in, you can scan those in exactly the same, put them in your library, say what day they were taken, and you can archive all of your family photos, everything, which is actually very cool. I haven't had
analog. You mean from a
He
camera?
means physical
Actual
How
print
did you get
picture.
them onto?
With the scanner, like on our printer here, it's got a little flatbed
Right.
scanner. Now, so.
actually, but
Does scanning harm the older photos?
I
Light.
imagine
red light.
it might possibly. I don't think that's a major concern, but if you have really delicate, extremely delicate
They're antique
pictures,
photos or something of that sort. Be careful with them, certainly.
and you might want to go to a professional agency that can scan them for you at cost. That might be a better alternative if you're afraid of something like that. But generally, it's not a major concern because
Something you got from a photo lab is going to be fine.
I've heard something about scanners with cool light.
Yeah, there are different types of scanners. What we were saying about if you have really delicate antique photos, something of that sort, it's probably best to take it to somebody who can do it professionally, because they'll have very, very high tech equipment that can do it in extremely good quality without doing any harm to the original, that sort of thing.
You sure
It's not the sort of thing you
picture of yourself
usually
on
want to
the
invest
over
yourself.
the that thing on.
oh, okay, yeah. And in
That is
fact,
so cool.
another thing you can do is if you have a Mac, you have a built-in webcam. It's actually on the lid here. You see how I'm pointing to it right here?
Oh, yeah.
So let's see. I'll go ahead and I'll pick a better effect here. I'm just gonna.
There's
get
a lot of
it really
built-in effects.
So I'll take a picture.
All of the Macintoshes have that?
All the new
All the
Macs
new
have
Macs.
them, all the new notebooks, yeah, and the
Oh,
iPhones.
my God.
So there's me, and actually a really neat thing is I can just drag that picture. So here it is, right? Pick it up, drag it, and drop it into my library.
Our customers love to play with the camera, by the way.
So here I am in the library now, and you could build the library using photos that you've taken from the webcam or any other source, right? So here we are. Oops. Okay. So here we are in our library. Now what I want to do is actually edit these pictures because we have kind of low lighting here. This isn't an ideal condition for photography, but we can actually do some stuff to make it look better. So here's Gabe. I'm going to go ahead and let's see, I'll blow this up. We have a full screen menu right here. So this button, and you definitely want some of these buttons, but generally it's pretty intuitive, right? This button.
And if you leave the mouse over it, it's going to tell you what it does.
So now we're on full screen mode. Here's Gabe.
Look at me.
You have controls here, right? So first thing.
I don't know what I was doing there.
This is an aria, you're saying?
Yeah, apparently.
So
This is my ode to TSW.
let's say you made your video and you're all done with your video and now you want to design a DVD case for it. right? So if you're trying to design a DVD case, there's actually already a setting right here.
So it's 4x3 and in parentheses DVD.
And you can, this is exactly the size of a DVD case. This is sideways, right? But this would be the size you want to use. You crop, right? So now we've cropped the picture somewhat. We have an enhancement button. If you don't want to fiddle, if you just want the computer to take care of the enhancement for you.
Basically balance all the colors, make it the right amount of white and black and that sort of thing.
It's like magic. In fact, it's a magic wand. You click the magic wand and it looks a little bit better, a little bit crisper. The levels are a little bit
Get rid of the
better.
bright spot.
This is all on the
That flash.
This is iPhoto. Picasa does have a lot of the same
Yes, it
features.
does.
and Picasso is for the good computer.
for PCs.
So we also have retouching. There's blemishes. If you want to get rid of the beard, you can do that.
Or that flash.
If I forgot to shave today. Then.
So here we'll even out that beard a little bit. I don't want to get too in depth here, but you get the idea. We have individual effects if you just want to apply, black and white, for example, or if you want to fade the color, you can fade the color somewhat, or boost the color. All right, there's a number of things you can do. Edge blur.
Yeah, like the matte and vignette effects.
So
Kind of gives you a little head, little some corners on it.
But what about getting rid of that bright spot?
that's it.
That
Sure,
flash spot?
the retouch might be a good choice, but keep in mind that
I start outside of it, I think.
Yeah.
keep in mind that iPhoto isn't going to do the work of a program like Photoshop, for example. Right? Photoshop is a dedicated program for moderate to professional users who are a little more proficient, and that will allow you to do anything you want, nearly anything you want.
Right. Pulling out a reflection like that is actually a very difficult thing. Removing like red eye from a flash is pretty easy, but getting rid of something like that is actually a lot harder than one would think.
Now, but for a beginner, right? If you just want to casually use digital photography, you just want to organize your pictures, catalog them, do a little bit of retouching, there's no better choice than Picasso or iPhone. Fantastic. And just the last thing I'll show you is the adjustment here. Right? If you want to actually get in and individually change the different parameters like the contrast, the brightness, saturation, and so on, you can even straighten pictures. Right? If you took a crooked picture, you can straighten it. Right?
Yeah, that's very handy because it even gives you the grid so you can line it all up.
You can enhance the sharpness and a number of other things you can do. But you get the idea here, right? Now we have a edited picture here. Right? There's a number of things we can do with this. iPhoto has some options that other programs don't. It has a system for designing books. If you want to design a gift book for an event, if you want to do a birthday party and you want to give an after-the-fact present to the birthday person, you can use pictures you've created and build a book, which is what you need. And when you're done, you order it from Apple and they send it to you bound, which is really nice. You just drop the pictures where you want them to go. So here's the cover, right? There's you guys. Here's the first page. You want to drop some pictures in. Not here. Whenever you see a grid, you can drop them in, right? And we're running out of pictures, but you can see how if you had photographed an event, you could design a book here. It's very neat.
And they have all different types of books. They have hardcover, softcover. You can do calendars. You can do all sorts of other things with them too.
We did our holiday cards using that.
Yeah, exactly.
If a friend sends photos and I want to include those photos in here, and they usually send by email,
Yeah.
that's easy.
If you get them, if you're using Apple's mail program on a Mac, actually, there's a way you can basically click on them and it'll send them right over to iPhoto directly.
But
Otherwise, you can just save them and drag and drop.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, from any program, any place in your computer, if you see an image and you want to save it, you can just drag it, right? So I pick up the TSW logo and drop it. And that works almost 100% of the time.
I used to copy and as a drag, but it works.
When you
Doesn't seem to
Sometimes
work.
you have to go to the desktop.
the cord in to the
I just
USB,
copy it and it works fine.
Yeah.
you have to tell
But that's
the
laborious.
computer to put
Yeah.
it in the iMac or in some other. You have other
PIA.
photo programs on your computer. You have to tell it which one to put it in.
Right, yeah. By default,
CA.
with a Mac, it's
I think
automatically
it's 2
set
S's
to
in
more
it. Yeah, I forget if it's 1 or 2 S's.
And if you're running a
Might be
Mac, I would
one.
just stick with iPhoto.
Yeah.
Now, when you set up Picasso,
S,
for
it's
example,
either
you download
SSA or
Picasso,
SA. I forget if it's 1 S or 2.
It'll ask to become the default program.
Yeah.
And that's with the PC.
And then, whatever you put in the camera.
Follow up to that particular
One
question.
Sorry.
It is.
Picasa allows you to go and find every picture on your hard drive.
Right, it does have an
Puts them
automatic
all in
scan.
one place.
It's true, although you can end up with a lot of stuff you don't want.
That's true.
Yeah, because there's little images that you get from.
But you can move it around. And
And Picasa, you work with Picasa?
Yeah.
Is it pretty close to this?
Yeah.
So the last thing I'll show you guys that I know everybody's really interested in is the
Not sure if it's two
slideshows,
S's
because
or one.
you bring in pictures and you want to either put them on a CD or maybe email a slideshow. I mean, there's a number of things you can do with a slideshow, right? But with iPhoto and also Picasa, it's very easy, right? In iPhoto, you just select the photos you want. Right? You see Dropbox over them, and you hit the slideshow button down here, very bottom. So click that slideshow button. It brings them all into a new view. And there's a couple things you can do. Yeah, we'll definitely add music.
To this drama.
Click the music button, and you have access to some pre-selected music,
Oh my god.
but also any music you have on iTunes. If you're using iTunes and you've built a music collection, you can use any of that. So anything you've already brought in. I'm just gonna pick Lazy Day. How's that sound? This might not be loud enough, unfortunately. But,
That's pretty.
so there's our song. Ken Burns effect. You guys know the documentary filmmaker Ken Burns? He does documentary on World War II and jazz and
Loves
stuff.
to pan around his photos.
They actually have the Ken Burns effect, which is zooming and panning on photos, right? You can do it automatically, which is what I'm going to do, or if you have a directorial spirit, you can actually get in there and make them pan exactly how you want, right? Now there's different transitions as well. So I'm just going to choose random. The transitions between the different slides. And I'll hit play.
And then you can see it on the screen. You can also save it and send it to other people as well. So
Nice picture, Andy.
How do you send it to people?
you want to show how to?
Sure, yeah. So, let's see here. There's a share menu. Oops. There's a share menu at the very top. In every Apple program, there's a share menu, right? Now, in this case, there are a few things we can do with the slideshow. We can email it, right? So what it'll do is take the slideshow, save it as a movie file, and put it as an attachment on an email, right? So all you need to do is type in the address of who you want to send it to, and off it goes, right? You can send it to iWeb, which is another program that every Mac comes with, if you want to put it on the internet, right? So if you want to create a website of all your travels, which is what I've done, I can actually show you guys if you like. You can do that with
Is that
slideshows.
true for Snapfish? Is that considered one, or is that a very separate thing?
What's it called?
Snapfish?
I haven't heard of that one, but
There are
External
actually
website.
plugins for iTunes,
Right.
little programs that other people have written that allow you to send it to Snapfish and other things like Flickr, those types of sites. It's not built in though.
yeah. I mean, you have a lot of leeway. If you want to go out and be adventurous and find these different services, you can do that, and it works well. And finally, there's the DVD. So I think this is the most popular option, right? If you have a very long slideshow for a wedding or a birthday party or something, you throw music on it. You've done the Ken Burns effect. You've done all that stuff. You can put it on a DVD, make a few copies, and hand them out as gifts. So it's very easy to do, very intuitive, and they're nice gifts.